you ever wondered what if Neville was the chosen one instead? Well, this is my video straight off of TikTok stitched together about exactly that. So the prophecy was first told by our sweet Sybil in the room above Hogshead when Dumbledore went to meet her as she applied for the position at Hogwarts. During this meeting, Snape was trying to eavesdrop and Aberforth, figured it out and apprehended him and was like, get out of here. I don't think Snape heard the whole prophecy before he was caught. So what Snape did was he turned around and went and snitched on everybody to good old Voldy. So the prophecy states that it's a boy born at the end of July whose parents had defied Voldemort 3 times, which that applied to both Harry and Neville, whose both parents were in the Order. The prophecy also had a detail at the end that Voldemort would be the one to choose who the chosen one was if there was more than one child that it applied to. So when it says he will mark him as his equal, whoever Voldemort chooses to attack is the one that will be marked. So the understanding is Voldemort chose Harry because he was half-blood and not Neville, who was a pureblood. However, because it applied to both boys, both families went into hiding. The Potters were, their secret keeper was Sirius, and the Longbottom secret keeper was Dumbledore. Dumbledore offered to be the secret keeper for the Potters, but they turned him down and chose Sirius instead. Both were under the protection of the Fidelius Charm, meaning that only the one secret keeper knows where they are and that the information cannot be tortured out of them. It can only be given willingly, hence Peter Pettigrew. So theory A, for me at least, that my little brain likes to think about, is what if Harry did die in the Forbidden Forest and Neville had to be the one to step up? Because I just think about Neville in that last scene, and I'm gonna do my best not to cry talking about it, but I think about Neville in that scene saying, hope is not lost. Neville stands up, like he's not gonna let it slide. So what if Harry really did die in that scene and Neville is the one to vanquish Voldemort in the final battle, winning the war? However, because of the details of the prophecy and because of the storyline that has already occurred in Harry Potter, technically Neville can't be the chosen one at this point because the prophecy says that Voldemort will mark him as his equal. So it can only be the one that bears that mark and has the powers that the Dark Lord knows not, because he has no idea that he put a piece of himself into Harry. I'm going to go make a video on theory B where Neville could have actually been the chosen one. As we know, the prophecy was told of a boy that was born at the end of July whose parents defied Voldemort 3 times and that Voldemort would mark him as his equal. The prophecy also said that if there was more than one child that this applied to, that Voldemort himself would be the one to choose who the chosen one was. So what if Voldemort chose Neville instead of Harry? Technically, he chose Harry because he was half-blood and not Neville because he was pure-blood, but let's just say that Voldemort chose Neville because he was pure-blood, because he held the ideal that pure-bloods were greater than half-bloods, meaning he would think Neville was the bigger threat. Both families went into hiding after the prophecy was told, and they were both protected by the Fidelius Charm. The secret keeper for the Longbottoms was Dumbledore, and the secret keeper for the Potters was Sirius. Because of the Fidelius Charm, they cannot be found, and the secret cannot be tortured out of anybody. It has to be willingly given. So in the main storyline, Voldemort goes after Harry, and Bellatrix is the one that goes after the Longbottoms. But if it was the other way around, that would be switched. Voldemort is very prideful, and he would have only gone after the threat, sending somebody else to clean up loose ends on the other side. Starting with what would happen to Harry if this was the situation. So Bellatrix would have found them. Snape would have appealed to her saying, please spare Lily, please spare Lily. Bellatrix would have, maybe she would have liked to have, a favor from Snape. So maybe she would have tried. Lily never would have not fought. So she was going down, and basically Bellatrix would have made her really loopy, scrambled her brain just like she had done with the Longbottoms. Because the Fidelius Charm would not be broken, because the house would not be destroyed by the curse rebounding off of Harry, then only the Death Eaters would know about the location, and Snape would actually be the one to go check out the house, and he would find Lily with her brain scrambled, James probably dead or also brain scrambled, and Harry still very much alive because Bellatrix didn't do anything to Neville. They just left him. Harry would have gone to Sirius and would have been raised by Sirius his whole life, and Lily would have gone into a hospital. However, Voldemort would not be able to find the Longbottoms because Dumbledore is the secret keeper and it can't be tortured out of him, and Dumbledore would never give that up. So Voldemort's in a pickle now. Basically, what I think would happen is Voldemort would kind of just disappear. He would have all the Death Eaters stop, and he would just make everybody believe that they were gone, so that way the Longbottoms would be drawn out. Like, they wouldn't come out willingly, they wouldn't be able to find them, they would have to leave their house, and he would know that the boy would grow up and likely go to Hogwarts, so Voldemort would just be biding his time for the next 11 years waiting for Neville to go to Hogwarts. However, because Voldemort was never reduced to ashes, he would still be, you know, in his full body form, full power and everything, and he would also have these Horcruxes. So let me know what you guys would think would happen at the school once Neville finally goes off to school. Let me know. I mean, you know, it might just follow the same storyline, but the thing is, Voldemort wouldn't have to attack him through these means. I mean, maybe he would, but like, he's in his full body form. He wouldn't have to use possession to like attack him. He could just do it himself. Or, you know, maybe he couldn't get into the school and he would have to find creative ways, but either way, he's ready and waiting for Neville to, you know, come out of his little hidey hole. So let me know what you think would happen. Thanks for watching. Mwah.